So, the other day I was kicking it with my little brother Obed, right? We were sitting at a busted old park bench back in my dirty home city of Oceanside, just waiting for my train to arrive to bring me back here to SB, when all of a sudden he turns to me and asks, "So, hey bro, you want to be black or white?" Now, I was caught more off guard than a prison break during a century swap, so I responded to the alarm with the heavily armed, "What?" And I turned down my playlist of Drake's Take Care and Wale's Ambition just so I could take care to listen to the next question he asked when he repeated with, "You trying to be black or do you want to be white?" Okay, now I was feeling more appalled than a dark, twisted fantasy, but I caught and grabbed my tongue, I reeled it in from Snap answering, and I thought to myself, what must this question stem from? Is it my style? Is it my soul? Is it my speech? Is it my slang? And if this is about some kind of stereotypical stuff, I got real excited right before I began to speak, because if that's the case, then this is Big Brother's chance to teach. So I told him, "Look, little bro, neither. See, I'm trying to be a quarter Italian, a quarter German, and half Japanese. And for the Second World War, y'all have my humblest apologies." But see, that's my ethnicity. And in an attempt to mutter a rebuttal, he put his hands on his knees to rise up out of his seat. He said, "Ryan, wait, listen, I think that there's something missing." I said, "You're being persistent." He said that we thinking different. I said, "Will you just listen?" He said, "Give me a minute." I said, "No! Calm down, little bro." Because see, that's my culture. That's my inheritance. That's my heritage and my ancestry. See these roots? These roots dig down deep to forever develop and define my foundation. Rich roots writhing and invertedly rising like a radiant red dot on a backdrop of white. Nourishing the trunk that protects my family's honor. Going up to the branches that reflect and exemplify each and every member. Leaves made of dreams that never fall, so my family tree is an evergreen. See, I'm a quarter German. And that comes from my grandfather's side. And even though I barely knew him, because he passed when I was 5, he was known as the greatest pilot that El Monte had ever seen. So quite literally, my grandfather was fly. And see, I'm a quarter Italian as well, which despite all the jokers on Jersey Shore means a hell of a lot more than just GTL. It means I come from the same line of people that owned Rome and the majority of the Western European continent. Not content with just paving roads, erecting the Colosseum, and years later the Vatican. And it is by no accident that I call myself the Renaissance. Lyric, RL, for all you back there that never knew what that was. Anyway, it means rebirth. The late 15th century social and artistic revolution that swept through the Western world, and I'm like, word! Word to Leonardo da Vinci, Botticelli, Titian, Raphael, Bellini, Bruegel, and mostly Michelangelo, because what that man could do with the David and the Pieta in marble and the Sistine Chapel in fresco of the Sistine Chapel was elegant and grandeur, almost nearly palpable, and just put that on the table because that shit was damn radical. And I also might love Michelangelo because he's my favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. See, I'm a little bit of a nerd, right? This is Totoro. See, but, oh, I got a backpack like this. That's got to make me some kind of Asian, right? So that's going to lead to my second half. I'm half Japanese. 私は日本人のハッパです。はじめまして、よろしくお願いします。And through quake after quake, we will not be shaken. Our key, our spirits, unlike buildings, never breaking. These roots dig down deep enough to withstand any tsunami, so I just howl to the moon, call me an Okami. I'm like, iresne, 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 I say, but still, you ask me this question as if you expect an answer back, little bro. I mean, just the other day, I called my mom on the phone, and I was like, "Yo, I ain't seen you in a minute." And she goes, "Why are you trying to act black?" And I'm like, "What's with that?" Like, how come everything nowadays needs a characteristically cliche categorical color connotation? Am I darkening my skin's pigmentation? What are we relating? It's like when you hear me rapping next to an African, how come you gotta automatically assume that it's coming from my adjacent? Since when is ethnicity a genre? And look, I don't mean any disrespect to any different kind of community, but I'd find it a hell of a lot more disrespectful if it seemed like I was trying to claim some false sense of unity. See, I don't understand what y'all are going through all the time, and y'all don't do the same for me. That's why we're allies. We're not impersonators. We're not doppelgangers. And that's when my little brother starts to open his mouth to speak again, and he goes, "Well, Ryan, I ain't." And I'm like, "Ain't? Hold up. Whoa, was this because of slang like that?" I'm on a roll at this point. I'm like, okay, so if you speak with a redneck dialect, that means you must be some kind of like rural fool, right? And if you have a dialect that reflects urban, that means you must be black. Well, that seems like some kind of racism, right? But see, where I come from, there's those all too eager parents that look down on my friends and I with disdain. So we sling slang like ghetto stones, slung so self-righteous, self-proclaimed language advocates stand scoffing at our tongue, and then we leave them suckers stumped, slipping, scolding, and slain when I get better SAT scores than they own mother and offspring. And I'm like, "Yo, come at me, bro." I know you're like 54 years old, but degrade me by my backwards hat one more time and I'm gonna knock your ass straight in line. And that's when my little brother goes, "Whoa, Ryan, calm down real quick. Look, I know you got a lot on your chest, but when I asked you about being black or white, I just totally thought we were just going to play chess."
as Cub, as well as Cubby. What is your first name? Yeah, and Alex, Caitlin, and Trevor. Give them up. Those guys have been here before. You know we do a little ceremony here. We have them pick their MVP for the class. That could be the person who did the best work, person who they had the crush on, person who helped them out the most, and our third place and winner of the Wind Up Flipping Monkey Award. It's a lot cooler than you can imagine. Oh no! Goes to Jax. Second place and winner of the Trident Gum Award is split between two fine young performers, RL Yamamoto and Roxy Diaz. And the creme of the creme, stolen from my son's toy chest this morning. It vibrates and blinks. And sings. Or laughs. And although I am a little bit peeved that she stuck that picture of me in the program, Gabby, let's give one more hand. Thank you guys for coming. One more bow. Thank you guys for coming.